My girlfriend said, "If you're jealous, that's your problem." After posting cozy photos with her ex, I wasn't jealous, but I made sure his girlfriend knew what real jealousy looked like. All right, Reddit, buckle up because I'm currently watching my now ex-girlfriend Miranda have a complete meltdown in real time on social media. And honestly, it's more entertaining than anything streaming right now. Forget about the latest drama series everyone keeps recommending. This is premium reality content unfolding on my phone screen, and I've got front row seats because I'm the one who set the whole thing in motion. But let me start from the beginning, because this story has layers like a 7-layer dip at a Super Bowl party. And trust me, every layer is more satisfying than the last. I'm 27, work as a software developer for a tech company here in Austin. Been doing this for about 5 years now. Worked my way up from junior developer to senior engineer through a combination of actually showing up, doing my job, and not causing drama in the workplace. Revolutionary concept, I know. The pay is solid, the work is interesting enough to keep me engaged, and I've got great benefits. Not glamorous, but stable. Dependable. The kind of career that lets you build an actual life instead of just chasing the next dopamine hit. I've been in enough relationships to know what red flags look like. Or at least I thought I did. My longest relationship before Miranda was 3 years with a girl named Stephanie, who moved to Seattle for grad school. We tried long distance for about 6 months before admitting it wasn't working. No drama, no cheating, just two adults who wanted different things geographically. We still send each other birthday texts. That's what a healthy ending looks like, for the record. My place isn't fancy. Just a 1-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood close to downtown, on the 3rd floor of a building old enough to have character, but new enough to have working air conditioning. I bought all the furniture myself over the course of a few years. Actual matching dishes from a real home goods store, not the random collection of hand-me-downs and Target clearance items that most guys my age seem to survive on. The balcony overlooks this little courtyard, with a fountain that's surprisingly peaceful for city living. Birds gather there in the mornings. There's an older guy on the 1st floor who feeds them bread sometimes. I'd sit out there most evenings after work, decompress from whatever debugging nightmare had consumed my day. Maybe read a book or catch up on podcasts. Simple life, but a good one. The kind of life I'd worked hard to build. I met Miranda about 18 months ago through a mutual friend's birthday party. Jake, my buddy from college, was turning 28 and threw this massive thing at his new house with probably 60 people cramming into his backyard. I almost didn't go. Had been working a brutal project all week, and the idea of small talk with strangers sounded exhausting. But Jake had been there for me during some rough patches, so I showed up. Miranda was 25, worked in marketing for some boutique agency that did social media campaigns for local restaurants and fitness brands. She had this infectious laugh that could light up a room, the kind of laugh where you find yourself smiling just because she's smiling. Dark hair, green eyes, dressed like she'd actually thought about her outfit instead of just grabbing whatever was clean. We ended up next to each other at the refreshment table Jake had set up, both reaching for the same bottle of ginger ale at the same time. "Go ahead," I said. "No, you first," she said. We did that awkward back and forth dance for a few seconds before she laughed and said, "Okay, how about we share? I'll pour, you hold the cups." That's how it started, standing in Jake's backyard, sharing ginger ale and talking about everything and nothing. She thought it was refreshing that I had my own place, a stable career, and didn't still live with 4 roommates eating ramen every night. I thought it was refreshing that she seemed genuinely interested in me as a person, asked follow-up questions about my job, remembered details I mentioned later in the conversation. We exchanged numbers that night. First date was the following Wednesday at this little taco place she loved. By the 2nd month, we were seeing each other 3 or 4 times a week. The first 6 months were legitimately great. We'd cook dinner together at my place, me handling the main dish, while she handled sides because she had a talent for roasting vegetables that I still don't understand. Binge-watch shows on lazy Sundays with her head on my chest and my fingers in her hair. Took weekend trips to the hill country to explore small towns and hit up antique shops. She'd leave little notes in my jacket pockets for me to find at work. Stupid stuff like "hope your meeting goes well" or "thinking about you" with little heart drawings. I'd surprise her with flowers just because, no occasion needed. All the normal relationship stuff that makes you think you found something real. Something built to last. Things were mostly good. Keyword, mostly. Except Miranda had this weird thing about her ex, Derek. Derek was 26. Some kind of fitness influencer / personal trainer / whatever pays the bills, when your main skill is looking good shirtless and having opinions about protein intake. They dated for 3 years, broke up 2 years before we met, but remained quote-unquote best friends. She was very clear about this from the start, presented it like it was a green flag. "Look how mature we are," she'd say whenever his name came up. We ended things amicably, and now we're better as friends. Most people can't do that. But Derek and I are different. We evolved past the romantic stuff but kept the connection. I was cool with it at first. Genuinely. I'm not the jealous type. Never have been. I've got female friends from college I still hang out with. Grab lunch with them sometimes. Text about random stuff. Attended their weddings. I'd be a massive hypocrite if I told Miranda she couldn't have male friends, even if one of them happened to be someone she used to date. Plus, I trusted her. That's what you do in relationships. You extend trust until someone gives you a concrete reason not to. Suspicion without evidence is just insecurity, and I refuse to be that guy who controlled his girlfriend's social life because of his own issues. The problem started small. So small I barely noticed at first. Like background noise you don't register until someone points it out, and then suddenly you can't stop hearing it. She'd mention Derek constantly, and I mean constantly. Derek thinks this restaurant is overrated, but the appetizers are good. Derek showed me this hiking trail last summer. We should check it out. Derek says you remind him of his college roommate. The quiet, nerdy one, I think. Oh, Derek's trying this new protein powder and says it's amazing for recovery. Derek thinks that movie was pretentious. He's more into action stuff. Derek always says Sunday mornings are for farmers markets. We used to go every week. Like, okay. Good for Derek. Glad he has opinions about everything from restaurants to recovery supplements. Thanks for sharing. I brushed it off initially. People talk about their friends. That's normal. My buddy Jake came up in plenty of our conversations too, but the frequency was starting to get weird. It was like Derek was a third person in our relationship, constantly hovering in the background of every conversation, like a ghost who really wanted me to know about his protein preferences. I started keeping a mental tally one week just out of curiosity. Derek's name came up 47 times in 7 days. 47 times. That's almost 7 mentions per day about her ex-boyfriend. Meanwhile, I don't think she mentioned any of her female friends more than twice. But I kept quiet. Told myself I was overreacting. About 3 months ago, things started shifting in a way I couldn't ignore anymore. She began getting defensive whenever I'd ask basic questions. And I mean basic. The kind of questions you'd ask about literally anyone's day. We're having dinner one night at this Italian place near my apartment. Good pasta, candlelit tables, the whole romantic setup. She comes back from the bathroom looking at her phone and smiling. Me. How was your day? Her. Fine. Me. Cool. What did you do? Her. Had lunch with Derek? Me. Nice. How was it? She looked up from her phone with this expression like I'd just accused her of something terrible. Why? Are you jealous? I literally blinked at that response. No. Just asking about your day. That's what couples do. Sure you are, she said with this little smirk, like she'd caught me in a lie I didn't even tell. All guys are jealous of Derek. It's okay, I get it. He's got that effect on people. I'm literally just asking how lunch was. Would you rather I didn't ask about your day at all? This jealousy is really unattractive, you know. She went back to her phone like the conversation was over, and she'd won something. I sat there staring at my cooling fettuccine, trying to figure out what alternate reality I'd stumbled into. I asked how lunch was. That's it. That's the whole crime. But I let it slide. Maybe she was having a weird day. Maybe I'd asked it with some tone I wasn't aware of. Maybe I was the problem. That became her go-to response pattern. Any question about Derek was jealousy. Any boundary was controlling. Any concern was insecurity. Any observation about the amount of time they spent together was me being threatened by their friendship. I'd mentioned that she spent a lot of time texting him during our dinner dates, and suddenly I was possessive. I'd point out that maybe she didn't need to spend every Saturday afternoon at his apartment watching football, and I was trying to isolate her from her friends. I'd ask why she needed to call him every single night before bed, even when we were laying in bed together, and I was suffocating her with my trust issue. The gaslighting was Olympic level, gold medal performance every single time. She had this down to an art form. One specific example that still makes my blood pressure spike when I think about it. We're at dinner one night. This nice sushi place I'd made reservations at for our 1-year anniversary. Took me 3 weeks to get a table because the place is always booked. I'm dressed nice. She's dressed nice. We've ordered way too much food because we couldn't decide on a roll. She's on her phone the entire time. Like the entire time. Not just glancing at it occasionally. Typing constantly. Giggling at her screen. Barely acknowledging that I exist or that we're celebrating a year together. Who you texting? I asked, trying to keep my voice casual even though my patience was wearing thin. Derek, she said without looking up. He's telling me about this girl he went on a date with last night. It was a complete disaster. She showed up with her mom. Can you imagine? So funny. Cool. Maybe you could tell me about it later? We're kind of in the middle of our anniversary dinner. She looked up at me like I'd just suggested she kick a puppy. Wow. Controlling much? I just thought maybe during our anniversary dinner we could focus on us. Wild concept. God, your insecurity is exhausting, she said, finally putting her phone down, but with this martyred sigh like she was doing me some tremendous favor by acknowledging my existence. Happy now? Am I giving you enough attention? That night, I lay awake for hours while she slept peacefully beside me, thinking about how I'd become the bad guy for wanting my girlfriend's attention during our own anniversary dinner, trying to figure out where I went wrong, wondering if maybe I was overreacting, if maybe this was just how modern relationships worked and I was too old-fashioned to understand. That's what you do when someone's been gaslighting you for months. You start questioning your own reality. You start wondering if maybe your completely reasonable expectations are actually unreasonable. You start believing that the problem is you. 2 weeks ago, everything finally exploded in a way that couldn't be ignored or explained away. It started with Instagram. Miranda posted a series of stories from what she called a friend reunion. I was at work when the notifications started rolling in. Mutual friends were viewing her stories, liking her stories, so I figured I'd check them out during my lunch break. Nothing to worry about, right? Just a friend reunion. Totally innocent. The first photo was innocent enough. Her and a group of people at some trendy restaurant downtown, one of those places with Edison bulbs and exposed brick that charges $18 for avocado toast. Group shot, everyone smiling. Nothing unusual. But then I kept scrolling. Photo 2. Her and Derek at dinner. Just the two of them. No group anywhere in sight. Intimate corner booth, candles on the table, her hand resting on his arm. Photo 3. Her leaning into him at some lounge I didn't recognize, his arm wrapped around her shoulders, both of them laughing at something only they understood. Her body language was pure girlfriend energy. Photo 4. A selfie where she's kissing his cheek, her lips actually making contact with his face while he grins at the camera. Caption. Miss this one with a red heart emoji. Photo 5. The two of them leaving somewhere together at 2 a.m. Timestamp right there on the story. Her story caption said, "Best night ever" with a sparkle emoji. I stared at my phone for a solid minute, maybe longer, trying to process what I was seeing. My girlfriend had posted what looked like date night content with her ex-boyfriend, including a kissing photo, and captioned it like they were still together, or like she wished they were. When she got home the next morning, around 11 a.m., I was sitting at the kitchen table waiting. I'd barely slept, but I'd also had time to think. Time to get my emotions in check and approach this like a rational adult instead of reacting from pure anger. Fun night? I asked when she walked in, still wearing the same dress from her stories. Yeah, it was nice catching up, she said, dropping her purse on the counter like nothing was unusual. Like coming home at 11 a.m. after staying out all night with her ex was totally normal behavior for someone in a relationship. The photos looked pretty cozy. She froze for just a second, just a fraction of a moment where I saw something flash across her face before she recovered with an eye roll. Here we go. I'm just saying, kissing your ex on social media is a bit much. It was on the cheek, she said, opening the fridge and grabbing some orange juice like we were discussing the weather, and not her posting romantic content with another man. God, your jealousy is exhausting. We've been over this 1,000 times. Derek is my friend. I'm not jealous. I'm pointing out that posting romantic-looking photos with your ex-boyfriend is disrespectful to our relationship. She turned to face me, juice in hand, and hit me with it. The line that changed everything. If you're jealous, that's your problem, not mine. I won't be controlled by your insecurities. Derek is my friend. I'm allowed to have friends. So if I posted photos kissing my ex on the cheek at 2 a.m., staying out all night with her, you'd be totally fine with it? That's different. How? You'd be doing it to hurt me. I'm just being friendly. I let that logic sink in for a moment. The complete double standard. The absolute confidence with which she delivered it. She genuinely believed what she was saying. In her mind, I was the problem. My reasonable boundaries were the issue. My completely normal expectation that my girlfriend not post kissing selfies with her ex was controlling behavior. Here's the thing, though. I genuinely wasn't jealous of Derek. I'd met the guy multiple times over the past 18 months. He peaked in college and would not stop talking about it. Every conversation circled back to his glory days as a fraternity social chair, the time he almost went pro in baseball before a shoulder injury, the business ideas he was definitely going to launch any day now, the influencer brand he was building that was totally about to blow up. Dude was 6 feet of mediocrity, wrapped in gym selfies and protein shake sponsorships. The kind of guy who calls himself an entrepreneur because he sells workout plans on Instagram to desperate people who think looking like him will make them happy. What I was tired of was being disrespected. Tired of having my normal boundaries called jealousy. Tired of being gaslit into thinking I was the crazy one for expecting basic relationship respect. tired of being told my concerns were insecurities, when anyone with two functioning brain cells could see the situation was inappropriate. That night, while Miranda was in the shower posting more Instagram stories about her wonderful, authentic life, I did some investigating. Nothing crazy, no hacking, no sneaking through her phone, no tracking apps, just some basic social media research that anyone could do with an internet connection and 10 minutes of free time. I found Derek's girlfriend's Instagram pretty easily. Her name was Natalie, a pediatric nurse at one of the big children's hospitals downtown. Her profile was public, full of photos with her young patients making silly faces, her co-workers celebrating birthdays, her golden retriever named Biscuit, and yes, lots of couple photos with Derek. I scrolled through her recent posts. There was one from last week about their 2-year anniversary coming up. She'd written this long caption about how grateful she was to have found someone who made her feel secure and loved, who supported her dreams and showed up consistently. Lots of heart emojis. Lots of comments from friends saying what a perfect couple they were, how lucky she was, how they hoped to find love like that someday. No mention anywhere of Derek having a friend reunion with his ex. No indication that Natalie knew her boyfriend had been out until 2 a.m. getting kissing selfies posted with another woman. Nothing suggesting she had any idea what her boyfriend was actually doing, while she was presumably working night shifts saving children's lives. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I screenshot a few key posts for reference and went to bed. Miranda came out of the shower and crawled in next to me like nothing was wrong. Like she hadn't just spent the last 24 hours publicly disrespecting our relationship on social media for all our mutual friends to see. Like I was supposed to just accept this as normal and shut up about my perfectly valid concerns. I pretended to be asleep, but my mind was already planning. The next few days, Miranda doubled down, and I don't know if she was testing me to see how much I'd tolerate, or if she genuinely thought she could push boundaries indefinitely without consequences, or if she just stopped caring about hiding anything. But she got bolder with every post. She posted more photos with Derek. Beach day where they were basically cuddling on a towel, his hand resting on her hip in a way that friends definitely don't touch each other. Coffee dates at some hipster place with exposed brick, where they're sharing a drink with 2 straws like teenagers on a first date. She even posted a throwback Thursday of them from when they were actually dating, some vacation photo from years ago, with the caption "Some things never change" and a winking emoji. Her friends were eating it up in the comments. "You two were always perfect together. The one that got away. He's so lucky to have you back in his life." And my personal favorite, from one of her co-workers who'd met me multiple times at company events. "Better than the current model for sure, LOL." That last comment was about me. I was the current model, the downgrade from her supposedly perfect ex. Miranda didn't delete the comment, didn't respond to defend me or our relationship, just liked it with a laughing emoji like it was the funniest thing she'd read all day. I'd had enough. Not out of jealousy. I want to be absolutely crystal clear about that. I had zero romantic feelings of competition with Derek. The man was a walking protein shake ad with the depth of a kiddie pool and the self-awareness of a golden retriever who keeps running into glass doors. What I had was self-respect, and I was completely done watching it get trampled while being told I was the problem for noticing. I went back through all her recent posts and screenshotted everything. The cozy photos, the kissing selfie, the late-night stories, the flirty captions, the comments she'd liked that disparaged me and our relationship. Made a nice little folder on my phone, organized it chronologically like the project manager part of my brain couldn't help but do. Then I found Natalie's profile again. She had her DMs open for anyone to message. I typed out a message, rewrote it about 6 times to get the tone right, then finally settled on something simple and factual. "Hey, you don't know me, but I'm dating Miranda, Derek's ex. I thought you should see some posts from the past couple weeks. I'm not trying to start drama, just figured you'd want to know what your boyfriend's been up to during his work trips and guys' nights. Do what you want with this info." I attached the folder. 18 screenshots total. Sent it. Waited. Natalie read the message within an hour. No response, but I could see she'd viewed my profile, probably trying to figure out if I was legit or some random troll trying to mess with her relationship. Then chaos erupted. First thing I noticed, all of Derek's Instagram photos with Natalie started disappearing. One by one, they vanished from his grid like he was trying to erase evidence in real time. 2 years of couple content, anniversary posts, vacation photos, dog park selfies with Biscuit, all of it gone in about 20 minutes of frantic deletion. Then, Natalie posted a story. Just text on a black background, plain white font. "When you find out the work conferences were actually beach dates with the ex." 30 minutes later, my phone started exploding. Miranda was calling, texting, leaving voice messages that ranged from furious to desperate. I let them all go to voicemail while I watched the drama unfold on social media, like it was a reality show I'd been waiting my whole life to see. Her texts were a masterpiece of deflection and blame shifting. What did you do? Natalie is freaking out on Derek. He just called me crying. Crying. You absolute psycho. How dare you do this? This is so toxic, I cannot believe you would stoop this low. You're going to regret this. You've ruined everything. I responded exactly once. Did what? I thought you two were just friends. The three dots appeared and disappeared about 6 times before her response came through. You know exactly what you did. You tried to break them up because you're jealous. I kept my response simple. If showing his girlfriend some public Instagram posts breaks them up, maybe they had bigger issues. Also, still not jealous. Just returning the transparency you're so fond of. She called me 47 times that night. I didn't answer a single one, but I did watch the drama unfold on social media like it was premium entertainment I'd been starving for. Natalie went scorched earth. Complete nuclear option. She posted every receipt she had. Screenshots of texts where Derek said he was at work, conferences during his beach day with Miranda. Messages claiming he was having a guys' night with the boys during their cozy late-night dinners. The kissing photo Miranda had posted with Natalie's own caption added underneath. Just friends though, right? Then came the nuclear option. A long Instagram post that started with 2 years wasted on a man who's still hung up on his ex. She named both Derek and Miranda directly, tagged them both so anyone who followed them would see it, laid out a complete timeline of his lies, cross-referenced with Miranda's posts. The conclusion of her post hit hard. Miranda, he's all yours now. Hope he doesn't cheat on you like he cheated on me. Though based on the pattern, you already know he will. Turns out this wasn't the first time Derek had gotten cozy with Miranda while dating someone else. Natalie had done her research after I sent those screenshots. Girl went full detective mode. She'd gone back through his phone records, his social media activity, DMs from mutual friends who'd noticed things, everything. She found a pattern going back months. Late-night calls to Miranda's number that he'd explained away as work emergencies, lunch dates he'd hidden by saying he was at the gym. That friend reunion Miranda had attended? It was actually on Natalie's birthday weekend, when he'd told her he was visiting his sick grandmother 2 states away. His grandmother had been dead for 3 years. Miranda tried damage control when she saw the post spreading, posted a story saying, "People are taking this way out of context, and we're just friends, nothing more, never been anything more." Natalie responded publicly in a comment visible to everyone. Friends don't kiss. Friends don't have beach cuddle sessions. Friends don't lie to their girlfriends to sneak around with their ex. But hey, if you're jealous that I had him for 2 years, that's your problem. The reversal was beautiful. The exact phrase Miranda had used on me for months, thrown right back at her. Suddenly, Miranda understood what actual jealousy accusations felt like when you're on the receiving end. And they weren't coming from me this time. They were coming from Natalie's entire friend group, who were dragging Miranda through the comment section like she'd personally wronged each of them. The fallout was spectacular. Natalie dumped Derek publicly, changed her relationship status to single while he was still trying to call her and explain himself, posted a story of herself throwing his stuff into boxes on her front porch with a Taylor Swift breakup song playing in the background. Her friends were commenting fire emojis and "You deserve better, queen," and "good riddance," and finally the trash took itself out. Derek went into full panic mode, started blowing up Miranda's phone, but not to reconcile with her, like she might have hoped. No, he was furious. Blamed her for ruining his life with her attention-seeking Instagram posts. Said she'd destroyed his 2-year relationship for likes and comments. Called her selfish and toxic, and a bunch of other things I'm sure she didn't appreciate hearing from her supposed best friend and potential soulmate. Man went from Prince Charming to bitter ex real quick when his comfortable situation fell apart. Amazing how fast the mask comes off when there are actual consequences. Miranda showed up at my apartment uninvited that Saturday afternoon. I heard the knock and checked the peephole. There she was, mascara running down her face, full victim mode activated. I opened the door, but didn't invite her in. "Are you happy now?" she demanded. "You destroyed everything." I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. I sent screenshots of public posts. If that destroyed everything, maybe everything was built on lies. Derek won't even talk to me anymore. He says I ruined his relationship. You did post kissing selfies with someone else's boyfriend, I pointed out. Actions have consequences. Wild concept. It was innocent, she insisted, even now unable to admit what was obvious to literally everyone else on the planet. Then why is he mad at you? Why did Natalie dump him? If it was all so innocent, there wouldn't be any issue here. The truth wouldn't have caused any problems. She switched tactics, tried a different angle. Her voice got softer, more manipulative. I only posted those photos to make you jealous, to make you fight for me. I stared at her. By disrespecting our relationship publicly. That was your strategy for making me fight for you? I wanted you to care, to show emotion, to prove you loved me. I did care. I cared that my girlfriend was posting couple content with her ex. You called that jealousy. You told me it was my problem, not yours. You were supposed to get jealous and show me you loved me through action, so you wanted me to be jealous. But when I expressed concerns, you said my jealousy was exhausting. You said I was controlling and insecure. You gaslit me for months about my completely reasonable boundaries. Make it make sense, Miranda. Her face crumpled. Yes. No. You're twisting everything around. I'm really not. You played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. That's exactly what happened here. Then came the desperation. Please, we can work through this. I'll block Derek completely. I'll delete all the posts. We can start fresh. Too late. You showed me exactly who you are over the past few months. I believe you now. You're really ending things over some photos? I'm ending things over the constant disrespect and emotional manipulation. The photos were just the latest example. She left crying. Sent one final manipulative text from my parking lot. I hope you're happy knowing you're the reason Derek hates me now. I responded once more. If he hates you for you posting the truth about your friendship, maybe examine why that is instead of blaming everyone else. The drama wasn't over, though. Miranda decided that if she was going down, everyone was coming down with her. She created a group chat, added me, Derek, and Natalie. Subject line, let's clear the air like adults. Her opening message was a masterpiece of delusion. Since everyone wants to act like children, let's have an actual adult conversation. Bryce was jealous of my friendship with Derek and vindictively tried to break up Dee and Natalie out of spite. This is toxic masculinity at its finest. I've done nothing wrong except maintain a completely innocent friendship. I refuse to apologize for having male friends. She'd gotten my name wrong. We'd dated for 18 months. I'd been inside her apartment hundreds of times, and she called me Bryce in the group chat. My name is not Bryce. Natalie responded first. Friendship? I have 73 screenshots that say otherwise. Want me to share them all here? Then she dropped them. Every single one. Texts from Derek calling Miranda baby and saying he missed her. Him complaining that Natalie was too clingy and didn't understand him like Miranda did. Miranda and Derek planning secret meetups behind Natalie's back. Messages that went way beyond any definition of friendship. Derek tried damage control. Those texts are completely out of context. You're misreading tone. Natalie fired back. What context makes I wish I was with you instead acceptable? Please explain. I'll wait. Miranda pivoted to blaming me. This is all because of you. You started this whole mess. I kept it simple. I literally just forwarded public Instagram posts that you chose to share with the world. You manipulated yourself into this situation. Then Natalie dropped the real bomb. By the way, Miranda, she wrote, did you know about Jenna or Haley? The other girls Derek was just friends with while dating you? Plot twist. Derek was a serial best friend keeper. Turns out he'd done this exact same thing with multiple exes. He'd keep them around, cuddle up to them on social media, use them for attention and ego boosts while dating someone else. Then, when the current girlfriend inevitably found out and left, he'd briefly try to date the ex before getting bored and finding someone new and starting the whole cycle over again. A human red flag on repeat. Natalie had done her research after I sent those initial screenshots, and she had receipts for days. Check his tagged photos from 2021, she wrote. Same poses, same miss this one captions with his ex Jenna, while you two were supposedly in a committed relationship. History always repeats with guys like this. You were the side piece, Miranda. Just like I was. Just like whoever comes next will be. The group chat went completely silent. Then Miranda left. Then Derek left. Natalie sent me a private message. Thanks for the heads up. Seriously, you saved me from wasting more years on someone who was never going to change. I owe you one. I wrote back. No problem. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. Just needed a little help getting to the curb. Meanwhile, Miranda's social media meltdown continued in spectacular fashion. She posted a Notes app screenshot about toxic men who can't handle confident women having male friendships and how society needs to address its insecurity epidemic. Within an hour, it had been ratioed into oblivion by people who'd watched the whole drama unfold publicly across multiple accounts. Best comment from someone I didn't even know. Girl, you posted yourself kissing another woman's boyfriend and called your own boyfriend jealous for having basic human boundaries. The math isn't mathing here. She deleted the post within an hour. But screenshots live forever on the internet. Nothing ever really disappears. Here's where it gets even better. Remember how Miranda and Derek were supposedly just friends? Best friends who would never ever cross any romantic lines? They tried to date for exactly 4 days. I found out through mutual friends who absolutely could not wait to fill me in on every detail. Apparently, once the thrill of sneaking around was gone, and the ego boost of making their respective partners jealous had completely evaporated, they discovered they had absolutely nothing in common. No spark, no chemistry, no reason to be together except for the forbidden fruit excitement that no longer existed. She posted one couple's selfie announcing they were finally giving it a real shot. It got ratioed so hard, she had to turn the comments off within an hour. People were posting clown emojis and linking back to Natalie's original expose post. They broke up via Instagram story on day 4. Miranda posted some cryptic quote about knowing your worth and walking away from situationships that drain your energy. Derek posted something about focusing on personal growth and hitting the gym harder than ever. Translation: they realized they were both manipulative people who couldn't trust each other because they knew exactly what the other was capable of. Natalie, meanwhile, is absolutely thriving. She posted a photo a few weeks later at some charity gala for the Children's Hospital, looking stunning in a blue dress, with a caption thanking everyone who helped her dodge a bullet early. We actually became Instagram mutuals after that, which is hilarious when you really think about it. Miranda tried one last manipulation about a month after everything settled down. She showed up at my apartment building with a box of stuff I'd left at her place. Some clothes, a phone charger, a book I'd been meaning to grab. I met her in the lobby, didn't invite her up. I just wanted to return these, she said, holding out the box, and to say I'm sorry for everything. Okay, that's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? That you forgive me? That you miss what we had? I don't, and I don't. I really did love you. You loved the attention. You loved having me as a safe option while you kept Derek in your back pocket for validation. There's a difference. She tried one more angle. So you're just going to throw away 18 months? I didn't throw away anything. You did. She didn't have a response for that. I took my box of stuff, nodded goodbye, went back upstairs to my apartment. Last I heard through mutual friends, she's on dating apps now. Her bio says something about wanting someone who's secure enough to handle her having male friendships without feeling threatened. The audacity of that statement after everything that went down is almost impressive. Almost. Good luck to whoever swipes right on that red flag parade. Natalie actually texted me a few weeks after the dust settled. Said she'd started dating a doctor from her hospital, some pediatric surgeon she'd worked with for years, but never really noticed until she was single. Posted a photo of them at some fancy restaurant with the caption, "When you stop settling, you start finding." 3,000 likes in 2 hours. Her comment section was nothing but support and fire emojis. She sent me a DM after that post went up. Thanks again for the wake-up call. Best thing that ever happened to me was finding out the truth. I told her I was glad things worked out, and I meant it. Sometimes burning everything down is the only way to build something better. As for me, I took some time to focus on myself, hit the gym more consistently, got into a good routine, picked up a few new hobbies, started learning guitar, which I'd always wanted to do, reconnected with friends I'd been neglecting while I was busy managing Miranda's drama, got promoted at work, bought a nicer couch. A few months after everything settled down, I met someone new at a friend's cookout. Her name's Rachel. She's a veterinarian, has this dry sense of humor that catches me off guard in the best way. Early on, when we were still just getting to know each other, she got a text from her ex about returning a book he'd borrowed months ago. She showed me the text immediately, without me asking, and said, "Just wanted to let you know he reached out. Is it cool if I drop it off at his place this weekend?" I stared at her for a second, trying to process what had just happened. Someone proactively communicating about a potentially sensitive topic, without making me feel crazy for caring. "Why wouldn't it be cool?" I finally asked. She shrugged. "I just figured I'd ask. We're a team, right? Your feelings matter too." "I appreciate you checking," I said. She looked at me like I'd said something completely obvious. "Why wouldn't I check? That's just basic respect." We've been dating for about 2 months now. Taking it slow, doing things the right way this time. She met my friends last weekend at Jake's place for a game night, and they all texted me afterwards saying she seems great. She seems normal. She actually laughed at Jake's terrible jokes instead of checking her phone every 5 seconds. Rachel even brought homemade brownies to game night. When one of my buddies asked for the recipe, she texted it to him right there on the spot. No games, no drama, no making anyone feel weird for asking a simple question. My buddy Jake, who'd watched the whole Miranda situation unfold in real time and had to talk me through more than a few frustrating nights, pulled me aside at his place last week and said, "This one actually seems to like you for you. Refreshing change of pace." He's not wrong. Last week I ran into Derek at the grocery store. Dude was buying frozen dinners for one, and protein powder. Looked like he hadn't slept in a month. Dark circles under his eyes. Gym clothes that looked like he'd been living in them. He saw me in the frozen foods aisle, froze mid-reach for a lean cuisine, then quickly turned and walked the other direction without saying a word. Actually speed walked away, like I was going to chase him down and confront him. I grabbed my stuff and checked out. Didn't even bother looking back. Some people aren't worth the energy of a conversation, let alone a confrontation. Couple days after that, Miranda tried to add me on LinkedIn of all places. LinkedIn. Like we were going to network professionally after everything that happened. I hit decline and blocked her account. Some bridges don't just burn, they get demolished entirely, and the land gets salted so nothing grows there again. Some people spend their whole lives playing games. The rest of us just want someone who shows up, communicates, and treats us with basic respect. Turns out that's not too much to ask. You just have to be willing to walk away from anyone who makes you feel like it is. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and help us bring you more and better stories. Thanks.